Sup, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. Today we are throwing a tamper tantrum. Uh, tampering period, the legal tampering period started today at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern time, and it has been a crazy day to say the least. Yo, yo, what's happening? We'll get there. We'll get there, Al. Man, this guy with this Uncle Phil shit, man. Buddha. What's up, Flamingo? Q. We'll get to the Nubian Queen. All of you guys. Said, and yes, we need to stop and take a moment and pay our respects to the bad guy. Scott Hall, after being in the hospital with complications from surgery, they unplugged him, and he's no longer with us. All right, so thank you for that moment of silence as we wish the bad guy a safe passage to that golden ring up in the sky. And I wish that I had a toothpick right now handy so that I could throw it at the camera in honor of him. But moving right along, I want to start this show off a little differently than I would ever dream of starting a show off. And I'm going to give some kudos to the Los Angeles Chargers. They have been busy since the start of legal tampering. Probably been busy before then, but we won't say nothing about that. Seem to have gotten an awful lot of deals done in a relatively short amount of time. But re-signing Mike Williams to a 3-year, $60 million deal is a good move. Acquiring Khalil Mack for a second and a sixth, also a pretty good move, especially since Chicago is the one that still has to pay it. Today, they inked J.C. Jackson to a 5-year, $82.5 million deal. Then went out and got the Rams' Sebastian Joseph Day on a 3-year, $24 million deal. And for you, those of you who don't know who that is, he's a baller-ass defensive tackle from the Rams that I was hoping that the Raiders would be able to come in and sign for a contract about like that, $7.5, $8 million. Nice little something to get him paid, but not necessarily top dollar. Then they got Austin Johnson on a 2-year, $14 million deal, another defensive tackle. No, that's not the way that it was explained to me. Oh, we got Tone. Tone's good.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm
Yo,
doing double duty. I'm doing double duty out here, but it's all good. I love it. It's still all football. I got my little guys out here running routes and getting some throwing in. What's up, everybody?
there you go. No, I was just going through the Chargers signing so far because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a team that's serious about making they run right now.
If if nothing else, of course, they have their injury histories and things like that and whatnot. But if nothing else, they are putting forth the effort and saying, take us seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. They are putting together a defense that on paper looks like it ought to be world class. Now we've seen this type of thing happen before to a team in Philadelphia where it looked like it was that defense was so good it was a dream,
Dream team, yeah.
and then it turned into a nightmare, which
What
was
what are
reality.
what would you say are some of the things that are is to just really remind you of it? Uh, yeah, it reminds us of it based on paper. But as far as how the team is built and ran, do you see them like kind of going falling in that same situation?
So what you're seeing is Brandon Staley bringing his Los Angeles Rams defense over to the Chargers.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so he went with it with what they had and decided he was going to add last season and decided he was going to swap them out and change his pieces.
Hmm.
Now they got two bitchin' ass defensive tackles who they've got on the cool to go with the most prominent pass rushers that they could put on the field.
Hmm.
And now in turn, when healthy, they should have the best pass rush in the league. They do healthy Joey Bosa, a healthy Khalil Mack. Then you got Sebastian Joseph Day. Then you got Austin Johnson in the middle. That's a lot. That's a lot of manpower coming up on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not going to be the where they're trying to stress you out is that they're not allowing you to double team anyone. So
Mhm.
everybody's going to have to block those guys pretty much man on man.
And then they have
Only
guys covered that gives them a little bit more time to also get to the quarterback um, on the back end as well.
Absolutely. It's a on paper it looks like a fabulous defense. And they already got the offense brewing, so you would think that in terms of everything that they're making, they're trying to make this run as best they can. Now where it ultimately ends up, I don't know. But if when you look at putting a team together, it is hard to put one better any more than what they got going right now.
If anything, now the excuses are on the players. It's not the front office anymore. The front office has
Yeah,
done the job.
yeah. No, that's real right there. At this point, it's on the players and the coach.
Yeah, yeah.
They got everything that they need. But so I'm not gonna sit here and talk about them too long. But I did want to give credit where credit is due and understand that when the Raiders went to the playoffs, that sent a message. When the Raiders went to the playoffs, that opened up a lot of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That it went and it elicited a response.
And
So
not only
now,
that, Rams' success has uh, definitely got the Chargers on notice.
absolutely,
And being in LA, they it was no excuse for them not to spend the money and really make that kind of splash.
no,
Youngstown, Ohio.
in house. Um, no, absolutely, and then you turn around and you look at what Cincinnati's doing, and Cincinnati is pulling up every every lineman they can possibly pull up to block for Joe Burrow, and what I got to give them credit too,
And
because
good
that
for them
is
because they don't want to be a fluke.
yeah, and that's what they needed. They signed Ted Karras to a 3 year, $18 million deal. Well, I really thought that was going to be one of our low key free agent signings, but he got $6 million a year, and I'm pretty sure they were only going to pay him about three, maybe four. Now, Alex Kappa got 4 years, $35 million. I would have spent the money for Alex Kappa.
Yeah.
Alex Kappa is going to be real good, but between the two guards that they just signed, that's gonna solve a lot of Burrow's issues up the middle, and then they still got draft picks where they can go in and do what it is that they need to do. But the
And
other team,
which kind
uh,
of brings us to the guy that a lot of Raider fans kind of are looking away from. It seems like Trent Brown is going to be a more viable situation than we wanted to, but we have to respond uh, to this as far as divisionally, and definitely might have to kick that tire.
definitely. Well, there's him. There's still a couple more, but we're gonna keep combing through some of these teams, these free agents,
Okay.
pickups and acquisitions, because smooth move right on.
With
Get
with
that.
what with what we felt the Raiders needed to do to counter a lot of these moves in the division as far as building in the trenches, um, and what's available. Where are we at right there? I know maybe a lot of some of the viewers are asking that question as well.
So here, let's pull up the tackle situation. Waiting for pulling it up right now. Oh, that's the contracts. I'm gonna look at contracts. Where's the tracker? Here we go.
Make sure you're communicating, son, and anticipate the throw.
Anticipate the throw. There you go. Coach him up, Dad.
That's right.
So as of now, and I'll run you down the list of tackles. Well, actually, that's the left tackle. We don't need one of those. We need a right tackle. So Jack Conklin, Cam Robinson, they're not available. You have Trent Brown is the top right tackle now available. Shocker. Billy Turner. You have Brandon Shell from the Seahawks. Jermaine Afidi. Morgan Moses. Mike Remmers. Bobby Massey. Ty Neshke. Trenton Scott. Cameron Fleming. Your own Brandon Parker. And and they just Steelers just re-signed their guy. So yeah, Trent is coming in at a $9 million. That's what is his current annual per year.
Uh-huh. How many years he has left on that deal?
He's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he only played 44.3% of the snaps.
Which was an upgrade.
Yeah, and that's the cold part too. I was just getting ready to say he was on the field a lot too. Ain't that a bitch? I sure was about to try to make that argument too.
Yeah,
Morgan Moses, Morgan Moses, it is. He was on the field 93.9% of the plays and only made 3.6 million. You can give that man a nice hefty raise and take that salary and double it.
yeah.
Did he?
Um,
No, he didn't
question.
sign yet, did he?
Because I remember when Odell Beckham got hurt in the playoffs, and I remember seeing a few players out there talking about turf and things like that. Do you? And I guess really more so, are there any unfavorable conditions that are making it hard for Raiders to really sign, other than money, or is it's just money?
At this point, right now, it appears to be cap space and money. A lot of these guys are out here. This is true. This is usually what you see from the first day of free agency. They're out here throwing ridiculous bags around. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Oprah giveaway episode. You get a bag. He gets a bag. You get a bag. You
Yeah,
want a bag come through? You can have a bag.
yeah.
But you're also seeing a lot of teams who are either on a rookie quarterback deal or were straight up bad teams that have all the money to throw around because they got rid of everybody or everybody left. But there's a it's important to remember this team went to the playoff. The Raiders went to the playoffs last season. So they're not far away. They had a few things that they needed to do to improve on. And from what I've been told, their focus today was more of trying to re-sign their own than go out and overpay somebody else's.
I see. Uh-huh.
And that is what good organizations do is re-sign their own and not pay for somebody else's garbage or overpay somebody else who was in a beneficial situation and chose to get paid instead of continue to be in a successful situation.
The Raiders are kind of been in a different situation though, right? Because they haven't been hitting on draft picks. So as far as there's some teams have been drafting well. What's up, Dirty? Teams that's just drafted well, they kind of have they can kind of do that better than the Raiders at this point, right? Would you say?
Um, Repeat that one more time. I'm
Uh,
sorry, I was looking
I
at
was
the chat.
saying because the have missed so much on their draft picks, they're a little bit more behind the ball than other teams hit on some that can that has players worth resigning and worth
So
bringing.
so the reality is this: is that they missed the chance, they missed the window to become elite when they had those 5 first-round picks. Had they hit on all 5 of them, they would be elite. Said you'd have an elite safety, you'd have an elite defensive end, you got a top 10 running back, you'd have an elite wide receiver, a number 1 wide receiver, you'd have a number 1 wide receiver with Hunter Renfrow as the slot guy and Darren Waller as the tight end. Said your offensive right tackle situation would be fixed. You'd have Colton Miller and Colton Miller on the right side. So now you got bookends. You know what I'm saying? You already gave on, and that's just off the draft picks. So you'd have a number 1 corner in Arnett.
That part.
Right, right. I was totally about to blow through that. Then I was like, oh yeah, there was that, wasn't there?
There was that one.
It appears I forgot one.
um. So, in light of just kind of like today, like you said, this is typically how the first days and stuff like that go. Linnell,
hmm
who's reached so far?
So who's what?
Who's reaching so far? Who's done some
Who?
reaching on some of these deals that's going on? Who's like really like, oh man, you're really trying to put a wig on a pig right there.
Um. Who? So I'm glad that you brought that up, because honestly, the team that I was thinking of right off the bat, that I was partially interested in what they're doing, but so I also got to remember that they just had a regime change, and so my old way of thinking about how they do things isn't the same thing, and so everybody here says the Jags, but what I would implore you to remember is you got Doug Peterson there, and Doug Peterson has enjoyed success every place he's been. They have talent in Jacksonville, and if he won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, I'm sure that he can get old football Jesus back up in the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because football Jesus has had a fall from grace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's been hard on the play out there in Jacksonville.
Unexplainable too. I really kind of don't understand
Oh,
why.
it's explainable. It's 100% explainable.
Yeah.
And his coach had mailed it in before they even played a game.
Who we got? Okay.
I honestly, that man tried to get himself fired. And it wasn't that he tried to get himself fired. He did it multiple times. He was putting effort into getting himself fired, and so much so that he allowed him to fire them with cause.
What's
Just said, "Fuck it. I don't even want to. I don't even want money. Just get me out of here. Rip the contract up. We'll call it a day."
yeah, yeah, yeah. He did everything but do a line of controlled
hmm
substance
At least get recorded doing it.
and get recorded doing it.
And get recorded doing it.
Oh man, NFL live. Oh man, so I don't know what do you expect? This week. Do you expect it to like kind of still be quiet until it's really time to a free agency actually officially begins?
So they're playing the long game.
Okay.
The Raiders are playing the long game. They're gonna have, so everybody's spending all their money right now. But understand, once Corey Littleton comes off the books June 1st, that's $11 million on the cap that opens up. So you see everybody running out, and yes, we all want signings, but what we all have to understand, the league season hasn't even started yet.
Right.
None of these things that you hear right now are official. Now it's not to say that they don't have these agreements won't be honored, but we've seen crazier things. Crazier things have happened where some of these guys have backed out at the last minute. Am I wrong?
No. No. No.
So now,
What is the? I guess I have a question. What does or what does the long game look like strategically?
strategically, what does it look like?
Yeah.
Sniping. They're gonna do so. What you could be in order for is this. Said Dave Ziegler has shown us real quick in his first, say, 3 or 4 opening moves. Said exactly what I thought was what we were going to get. You're going to see a Patriot like approach to our own free agents and free agency period, and the way that they go about evaluating talent and acquiring it. They're not going to go out there and overpay anyone. They're going to have a dollar amount set, and if you want more than the dollar amount, you'd be free to go find it someplace else. And hold on, let me make sure my thing is plugged in here. Computer's about to die. Hold on. Over here, messing up. All right, we good. So, but they re-signed Max. They took care of Max. They took real good care of Max, and they did it. And they did it the way that they went about doing it on a day that meant that much to him. That's top notch. That's the type of stuff that'll make players want to come play for the organization. That you look at yes they've had guys who've had their struggles, but they've gotten themselves right while being out in Vegas, no less. I mean,
And get
I
all
got
the to fall off. You know.
yeah. I gotta believe that being an alcoholic in Vegas is a horrible place to try to kick that habit.
I don't even think I've ever even heard of a rehab in Vegas.
But, man, right?
I give you an 800 number. That's what about it.
Tell you might want to take that shit up the street to Henderson, bro.
Yeah,
We ain't got none of that over here.
because over here we sipping.
Oh no, Zay Jones gone.
Hey, what did he get? 30? I seen him get
We're
30.
not affected that we lost the number 3 receiver. Said that number 3 receiver was actually your number one down the stretch since Hunter Renfro's not a number 1. Said that number 3 receiver was paying dividends and attracting a gang of attention.
Yeah.
When he was out there making it happen, when they actually used him on short possession type routes, which he pretty much has been a short possession type route receiver his entire life. It's amazing what guys can do when you put them in situations where they can succeed. And because of that, he got paid. And some of the things that I've seen, and I'm not even going to really feed into this too much, is that he owes his success to somebody else other than his own merits and hard work of getting open, running the correct routes, and being where he was supposed to be at the right time, so that opportunity could present itself for success.
So, wow. Does the market really start to go down after the first couple of days, or are we still going to look at an upward trend on a lot of these players getting paid?
It really truly depends on what guys want to do. To be honest with what teams want to do right now, but if you look at the teams that are spending right now, it's just those teams who have crazy amounts of cap space. everybody just doesn't have it like that to come throw that type of money around. Winning teams usually don't have it like that to throw money around like that. When you have that type of money, you either have a quarterback on a rookie deal or you got a bad team with no quarterback. Because if Kirk Cousins is getting $40 million a year guaranteed,
What did our front office do when that happened? And they're sitting there looking at the board like on the to-do list. It's looking at Carr's name right now.
uh, Kirk Cousins. I mean,
Advil and just
so so you know what's funny? So I'm gonna spin it to you like this because you know I can find some irony in a situation.
okay.
So ironically, Dak got called the Black Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins got paid the $40 million that Dak was asking the Cowboys for and didn't get.
Everything is just, everything.
I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. That did go out like that. Just like that, too.
Oh man. Oh man. I need Kirk Cousins to come out with a Black Lives Matter T-shirt or something like that with the check. With the
Bruh,
check.
he wouldn't even tell you, he wouldn't even get the jab, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think the best thing you could ever seen Kirk Cousins do was not come out with the Blue Lives Matter wristband out there in Minneapolis, or we love MPD.
Oh man, he killed me with that. He killed me with that press conference saying the hospital's on standby should anything happen. I was like, could have just whatever. We're not gonna get political on this show. That's not what we do here.
No, we're not.
So,
No, we're not. But yes, Kirk. You
awesome.
like that? You like that?
You like that? Oh man.
Oh man, we could do a whole show roasting Kirk Cousins, but we go. I mean, ooh, I remember when
Hey, Kay,
RG3 just gave it to him.
yeah, Kay, this, I have many facets about me, Kay. You know what's up.
Exactly. They got all this. They got all
Yeah.
this money because they're not paying Herbert. It's the only way it works. Even the Chiefs, they're starting to clear space now too. That's why the Honey Badger walked because Patrick getting all his money next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And does that make him a casualty or is his play slipping?
make who a casualty?
Honey Badger. Is
Yes.
he or is it so it has nothing to do with his ability right now?
So you ask a Kansas City fan and they'll tell you that he's fell off and he wants 15 million and has fallen off.
Uh, uh,
That he wasn't no good and didn't do nothing special since after week 5. At this point, said he's better than anything that we've ever had at strong safety and would definitely fill a niche position. Now the question is how much would it cost to have him? Now, if it's going to be 15 million, he can kick that on down the street and find a horrible team with a ton of cap space to go and give him all that money.
mm-hmm.
If he wants to be reasonable, then we might be able to work out something mutually beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Son,
Now,
I need 10 I need 15 push-ups for that drop. Thank you right now, son. Sorry about that, everybody.
oh please, by all means. You say you real hard on him, coach. It used to be 10.
I mean, if they want to play, and at $400, I'm about we gonna
Ooh,
put real ones out there.
I heard that. All right. So,
Yeah.
with all of that's been said, let's get into some fun stuff. You ready to look at who's available for corners? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we still have Stephon Gilmore at 32, played 28% of the snaps. Joe Hayden at 33, played 54% of the snaps. Kyle Fuller at 30, played 66% of the snaps. Chris Harris Jr. is available at 33. Got Patrick Peterson's old ass at 32, who played 73% of the snaps, which is the highest
Mm-hmm.
so far. Bryce Callahan, Jason Verrett, Kevin King, Xavier Rhodes, Darius Williams. That's actually one that you could keep circle and keep an eye on.
Okay.
Said he's only 29. I said only 29. Tavon Young, Akilo Weatherspoon, the recently released AJ Bowie. Charvarius Ward is 26 and played in 67% of the snaps. The fabulous Terrence Mitchell, Desmond King, Lacey Hayward,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jimmy Smith, Steven Nelson, Mike Hughes, Kaywan Williams, Justin Coleman, AJ Moore, Chandon Sullivan, TJ Carey, Trey Herndon, Levi Jones, Wallace, Sidney Jones. There's Joshua Norman, Richard Sherman.
And as far as oh, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say because there's a lot of names out there, but scheme fit people that are capable or familiar with this scheme. I'm sure that list kind of dwindles down to about 6 guys or so.
So you're looking at guys who you would feel comfortable with playing man-to-man coverage, and out of everybody that I just named off, out of the top 10, Gilmore, Hayden, Fuller, Harris, Peterson, Callahan, Verrett, King, Rhodes, and with the exception of maybe Darius Williams. None of them guys is anybody I'd want to have locked up in man-to-man situations with anybody on the Kansas City Chiefs or the Chargers.
Chargers, right?
That the Chargers will be too big, the Chiefs will be too fast for them old brothers to run with.
So, would this be more of a depth pick?
No, you can get a starter, but you're talking about, but when you're looking at what you have to work with, you still have Trayvon Bolin. So you still got Nate Hobbs. I also thought, if push came to shove, said you could probably re-sign Keyshawn Nixon and kick Nate Hobbs out wide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I liked him in the slot, but the way that Keyshawn Nixon played in the slot had me thinking that maybe it wasn't that Keyshawn Nixon couldn't play; it was scheme, and Gunther's scheme was trash. Because when you see the same type of success from the same position, it's like, okay, we got a better scheme here.
Yeah.
When you got equal production coming from two different guys.
And I certainly think Hobbs is strong enough to definitely line up on the outside with those bigger guys.
And fast enough and good enough.
Yeah. But, really, I would really lean more on the strength side just because, running with them is one thing, but if you can just knock that timing off, you have the strength to, put a hand on these guys and knock that timing off, that right there is the beginning of the battle anyway. when you're playing up on a guy like that anyway.
No, that's real. And then you can find this particular draft I like a lot better for slot corners than I do guys out wide.
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple guys out wide that I'd like, or you could even draft a Kobe Bryant. I feel good about drafting a Kobe Bryant and starting him, or letting him battle for playing time with some of the other guys that we got, because we're not gonna be able to win the free agency battle anymore. They already got all the top guys.
Right.
So the Raiders are going to have to be creative with what they do, how they go about their business. They're not out here to lose. Said they didn't sell Mark Davis on the fact that you're gonna get rid of the special teams coach who just took us to the playoffs so we can come in, tear up the team, and then not go to the playoffs the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no need to panic. That all of the pieces that they need are still available.
Because
What's that?
again, I had to, even the things that I was seeing, I started to be like, oh man, okay, we're gonna do something, but then I had to remember we're looking for guys to do their job. I remember we had that conversation, and what do your job means is that we're going to, if we get you, we need you to do something specific.
These things, these couple things.
These couple things, and so you don't have that. That doesn't. I don't think that requires you breaking the bank for it.
No. And that is what we have to keep considering and continue to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's been a lot of crazy money thrown around. I saw that Christian Kirk got signed that would hurt me because I really did want Christian Kirk. I did. I'm not gonna lie. Then when I watched all of the top interior linemen go, I was like, "Hey, Alex."
Yeah.
No.
Boys and men playing in the background.
Man. And then when they said that the Cowboys couldn't get anything for that they wanted to trade for Collins and we're just gonna release him, I was like, it's like you only got to pay this man $10 million. That's a Pro Bowl right tackle.
Right.
You need a Pro Bowl right tackle.
Or you're just gonna have to deal with somebody in Carr's face, like back there.
Did I want Christian Kirk for $17 million? No, I did not. I thought you were going to be able to get him for 12 to 14. So when he got 17, I was like,
good for him.
Get your money on, young man. Get your money on.
Compliments to the agent there.
Yes, sir. He did. That man did his job. Yes, like all the good interior defensive tackles are gone today. A good little bit of it. Let's look at it. I got it over here.
Yeah,
I got to pull that up right there. There was definitely a lot of them that went for sure.
I know one thing. Coach Graham, he seemed pretty adamant that if you're getting blocked 1-on-1, you're not the guy for us.
And that should be how it is. That's not revolutionary thinking.
Right. You said, I can't say it word for word, but I think it was, on the lines of, if you're getting blocked 1-on-1, we have to find somewhere where you can work, find something better for you. Looks like we've got a little pause here. I don't know if I'm still on. I'll try to keep it going. But yeah, Chuck, man. But I'm gonna try not to panic. Like we said earlier, we are looking for fit. We are looking for fit. And a name could be a name, but we definitely are looking for fit. And we're hoping that what our guys, what our coaches are looking for, they can still find it. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna go check in the chat real quick. Let's see what you guys are talking about here. Not too many safeties got signed. Very true. Not too many safeties got signed. And like that, I guess you guys we're talking about looking for somebody that can come in and and for a possible place of Abrams, if I'm reading that correctly. Who else we got going on now? Yeah, Phil froze up. It's all good. He'll step back in, be back in like nothing. Um, Eddie Goldman. I would definitely keep an eye out on Eddie Goldman. That's definitely one that is still out there for us, I believe. Um, and forgive me if I'm a little behind. I was trying to keep up with everything while I was at work, and oh man, the news was coming in hot. Raider Nation was about ready to hit the panic button. Grams like linebackers and safeties, absolutely, absolutely. And what I do know is that there is an abundance of them, especially in this draft. And I'm not sure where they're at on Pyramid. Um, that'd be a nice guy to have back. Um, and I like Diablo in there as well, and I'm kind of interested in seeing what they do. That guy can stand up or he can stand up or be a down lineman as well with his hands in the dirt too. So I think at linebacker I'm not as concerned about linebacker concerned. Very concerned about the offensive line though, and the defensive line. I am very concerned about that. Him and Moore would be a nice pair. Uh, I think M85 talking about Badger. How about safety? How about safeties from the Saints? He's still available. Very good question. Very good question. Um, which I hope a coach gets back for because I am not. I don't have my laptop in front of me. I'm kind of winging it a little bit. Uh, uh, I'll definitely bring that up when Phil gets unfroze. Marcus Williams. Yeah, I think we did just bring up Marcus Williams. What's up, Corey? We did just bring up Marcus Williams earlier too, which is another option that's available. Right on, done. Diablo, man, look, Diablo, man, you know how it is to be a Raider fan. We have a lot of promise, man. Yeah, that Jamaican Wi-Fi. We got some promise, man, and I don't want to get too excited about it, but I'm very excited for Diablo, especially mentally. The way he stepped up when things are when things are going to shit. Um, Before we went on that run to get in the playoffs, I really felt like he's going to be a guy that's definitely going to be a staple in that locker room. Uh, so yeah, I'm definitely with you, SBG, on Diablo. Um, Definitely being a guy that's going to be make a name for himself in this league. What else we got going on here? Holding it down. Okay. So far, man, what's your guys' feedback on? Yeah, he definitely stepped up big time, man. Big time. He said some big boy things, man, and that's where I'm at with his mentality. Um, uh, as far as the way we drafted, the spilt milk. I'm not gonna cry over it, but as far as character, I can't say that they hit it on that one. Tyree, man, look, I think everybody's. I think with Graham coming in this new regime, man, I think spots are up, man. I think Gillespie should definitely get a real shot at an opportunity to get on the field this year. I think we mentioned earlier before of guys that are going to probably shine even harder now in this new scheme and being used correctly, offensively and defensively. Gillespie is going to make huge strides. We got a low, yeah. We got a low. I mean, low key. Mentally, yeah. I would say we got some mentally tough guys out of there. Again, I definitely want to see as I'm talking, I definitely started to think about Malcolm Kuntz and what kind of defense is going to be running, and I'm very interested to see how he's going to be used. Tyree can play man coverage too, and that's what they're looking for. Graham said we're looking for guys on the D line that can't be blocked 1-on-1, and we need guys that can cover. And with how this defense sounds like it's going to be put on the field, we're going to definitely have a lot more athletes on the field as well. So that's going to be very exciting. Morrow's back. Look, and you know he might be my distant cousin, man. I'm hoping so, man. I've been rocking a jersey with my last name on the back, and it feels good to see my last name out there running around. But yeah, Morrow, Diablo, Perriman, that's going to be, man. That's a good start. And then with the plethora of linebackers, you know, in this draft, I think that we'll be able to be solid with depth and talent at the linebacker position. Like I said before, you know, D line will be something very interesting to see how that develops and shakes out. I don't have all my notes and things in front of me and whatnot of guys that, you know, other people were looking at and that I went and took a look at. You know, that's going to be a big deal, especially the way how our division has seemed to, you know, made some upgrades as far as on paper. Um, it's been said before, you know, that, you know, we're going to have to do our work in the trenches. What's up, Pablo? We're going to do our work in the trenches to be able to compete with all these upgrades, you know, from the Chargers and you know, I don't know about Russell, you know. It's probably, you know, so I haven't really studied the reason why it didn't work out in Seattle, but I do know that we all know that the Broncos are built in a certain way where they were, you know, a lot of people said they were quarterback away. So, you know, we'll see if that investment that they mortgaged off for him will work out. Yeah, we are sure about to see how Riv's new front office is quickly. You got that right, King. But you know, we have to also know that they have already come off as a very patient bunch. And one thing Phil brought up was the long game in the free agency and how that breaks down. And where one of the things he mentioned was Corey Littleton coming off the books in June, which frees up about $11 million in cap space. And so moving forward from there, you know, I have more questions than observations about how flexible we can be after that. And so, in your opinion, who should we go after tomorrow? Man, tomorrow needs to be about the trenches. I'm gonna say this until, you know, I know we need corners and things like that. I do believe that I do believe that corner doesn't have to be so much a priority in free agency. Judging what Graham and his defense is, you know, what these coaches are looking for as far as guys that can cover, I really believe we can find that in the draft as long as we take care of this defensive line. And that's where I would say, Dre, is where we should be looking, defensive line, to put something up front that's going to make it easier for these corners to cover. And you know, I think I mentioned this before about the 49ers. I have, I'm in the Bay Area, so there's a lot of 49er fans that would complain about their secondary, but their front seven is always stout. So they're always competing. They're always competing at a very high level. So I would like to somewhat be a copycat in that. I would like to somewhat be a copycat in that. And, definitely build up the front seven. So, Dre, I would say let's get some guys that want some quarterback meat.
I want to take this opportunity out the show and give you a shout out for holding it down. after the Russians then cyber hacked my computer and fucked my shit all up. They disrupted my infrastructure, tore up my modem. This shit was all bad, son. Look, listen, my mobile defense, my air missile defense system failed me. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
But you know what I'm saying, they could never hold down a real player. You know what I'm saying?
they
Had
can't
to,
count a real player. We went on
you
a
know what I'm
4
saying?
when we was down, and look where we ended up. So look,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We was down but never out.
we was down.
Down but never out.
So there was some questions about. There was a lot of questions flying about. There was a question about Tyree. Unless we seeing some actually getting actual opportunity to see some field. Um, there's a question. There's a question about what's next. After this round of free agents have seemed to chose their destination, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
What is the priority for the Raiders? And I addressed that by saying let's go get some quarterback eaters for right now. I think that corner is when you read off the list and then we got some specifics about uh, which one of those corners do we actually want in this scheme and things like that, and it was very very tight. So it put me in the mindset of, well, why don't we just get some boys up front, kind of the way the 49ers are kind of built, where their front seven is just stout and it's able to cover up some of the shortcomings in the secondary.
It's funny that you mentioned that and that you also bring up the 49ers because DJ Jones is the guy that I was watching. Now, I had him mixed up with Kerry Hyder, but Kerry Hyder left, I think, the year before last, and DJ Jones stepped up and filled his role without missing a beat. DJ Jones has been a beast, been out disruptive, has been heating up the NFC West quarterbacks, collapsing pockets, and being a monster in the run game. And so he should be an option that won't cost you a whole bunch of money and can maximize your production, be a real dog up the middle. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Goldman was also released. I don't necessarily think that you need to run out and go get Eddie Goldman. I think that you can probably draft a guy that can give you what Eddie Gold, who just signed with Denver. Who just signed with Denver? I have to look that up.
I had Jones actually on my list too.
Oh, dang, you motherfucker.
Jones went to Denver.
That's what he said. I haven't seen. I didn't even see it.
God
You
damn,
seen it?
he was high
Really?
on my.
Hold on, I gotta check. We over here looking. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, he was high on my list. I think, and it wasn't even a thing that I even really put a lot of thought. I said, oh, he came from the Niners. Oh,
They literally just signed.
uh,
Literally just signed. We just broke some news right here, right there. DJ Jones signed with Denver. 3 years, 30 million with 20 guaranteed.
oh man,
I wasn't gonna pay him 10 million.
that is a deal.
I wasn't gonna pay him 10 million now. Hey, man got his money on. I can't hate on him. I wasn't gonna pay him 10 million. But
But it goes back to what we said. It's just like, man, when you're hitting on these drafts, guys like that are just it's next man up, and
yeah.
it's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Yeah. It really is. I get everybody's frustration. Everybody wants to see some action. They want to see how we're going to build on this team, how we're going to take what we had last year and continue to improve. And given the fact that you're not used to seeing them deal from a position of success, having experienced success, You expect them to go out and conduct themselves like a team who's not won very many games and has $70 million in cap space, and it
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't work that way.
That's right.
A lot of unreal expectations about the salary cap and what you can do to just completely ignore it, circumvent it, just render it meaningless, and it's there for a reason.
If you guys want a good laugh out there, look at Mr. Leandro's Twitter and check out his wish list.
Uh, Listen, that'll be the last time we ever direct some traffic towards Make-A-Wish McFadden.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. But yeah,
Oh man, yeah, I saw that and was just like, yeah, because why? Because you know what? Fuck, screw it. Salary cap don't mean nothing. What's that?
I mean, I know our product, our is elite out here, but goodness gracious.
I'm here to tell you, it's been insanity, but that's usually what happens in the first week, really. So I mean, while we're sitting here thinking, oh my god, there's so much time left in this, and as I previously mentioned, the Raiders are playing a long game. They still have guys that they're interested in. They got Stephon Gilmore that they've been tied to. They still got DJ Chark. They have a, a lot of their talents. A lot of Trent Brown, just a bunch of guys who can come in and help out, contribute, can be hopefully be reached on a reasonable deal.
Mhm.
But again, like I said, this roster wasn't far off. This roster was within about 10 yards of defeating or forcing the Bengals into overtime.
The
On the
AFC champ.
road. Yeah, on the road. That had been the best defense the last month of the season. That everybody seems to want to overlook that when we're handing out credit for who was responsible for getting there. But any defense that's holding the opponents under 20 points or less is putting out a winning effort,
That's right. That's right.
no matter how they got there or who was playing. You can only play the team in front of you.
And with our predictable scheme on both ends,
Well, we
that's
don't have a predictable scheme anymore. Remember, you have a
no. I
defense.
mean more. I mean last year. Just speaking
Yeah,
on what they worked with last year.
right.
In spite of that, in spite of all the things going on. So, but yeah, it's time to move on. 2022. It's time to move on.
Yeah, we can't use those old standard measurements against what they got going on now because right out of the gate you've seen some of the patriot wisdom coming out of this front office and resisting the urge to come out here and throw way too much money at guys for no reason.
Dre. I feel like sometimes teams will do things. It's kind of like almost like a business card. Like sometimes, where they'll show some money around just to show other people that they mean business and they're serious.
Right.
And that's what I feel like with some of these signings, some of these spendings, especially like the Jaguars. They're trying to show guys, hey, if you're good, we'll pay you. If you're good, we'll pay you. I think I almost feel like the Raiders was on that kind of trajectory maybe a couple of years ago, where it's kind of like, hey, we're no longer going to overpay for guys, but hey,
They did it with
if you're
Reggie.
putting out a good product on the field. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Woo! Reggie and Joey Klingscales, the executive of the year. So remember, Reggie didn't know football. Reggie was a horrible GM. We couldn't wait to get rid of Reggie.
Right.
And for what?
For email. for Mr. Email and NFL Network.
Right? For to get you 4 games into the season that you went to the playoffs in.
Right.
But you brought in Reggie and got rid of all your players. They made the playoffs this year, but now they're in a position where they look like they're about to be outmanned, or at least for now appear to be outmanned. Rich,
Rich,
go ahead.
What's
wow,
happening, guys? How y'all doing?
man.
Does it look like I just got off work?
Yes, you do.
Busting ass, bro. Bro, can I ask something? All the big deals that happen around the NFL, what is the most common thing that happens with them all?
They all flame out.
No, you never hear about them until the deals are done. You know what I mean? Nobody knows anything. You just boom, it happens. I still got faith that that's what's going on right now. That nobody knows. There's no rumors. There's no nothing. I mean, the Denver Seattle trade with Russell Wilson. We wasn't hearing anything about that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. I think something's about to happen. There's a reason why they cleared up all this salary cap. There's a reason. Yeah, we didn't get all the things we wanted today, but I think something big is about to happen.
But I wanna.
Don't trip. When I seen J.C. Jackson gone, I was mad. I was some fucking boat to the Chargers.
Christian Kirk. Said DJ Jones.
Now, did you see the contract though? Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
It was like 18 million. It was like, nah, you can have them. I thought I was thinking 12. I was thinking 12, maybe 14 tops. 17 and a half, 18. Like then I was talking. We were just talking about DJ Jones before you pulled up. It's like, man, I think you could really do a guy like DJ Jones. Just signed for Denver, 3 years, 30 million, 20 guaranteed.
Right?
I wasn't finna pay his ass 10 million.
Negative.
So J.C. Jackson, now for that 5-year, 82 and a half, I would have paid that. That one I would have paid.
Bro, I'm not sure that we didn't offer him some money.
But it's not in their cap situation. They can't right now with their cap the way that it is. They can't afford to give any one player a $16 million a year deal. I thought it was absolute lunacy that they haven't traded for La'el Collins already.
Right.
Right. You keep that contract locked in for 3 years at $10 million a year for a Pro Bowl right tackle, and you won't pay him $10 million.
Problem solved too.
You got 2 6-round picks. Give them both of them. Fuck it.
Right.
I'm gonna have to.
What's up, Corey?
You know.
What's up, King?
You know.
Flamingo. Yeah. I'm with you.
Tell you, bro. Well, yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Soon as I heard, is that? Oh, what you want for old boy? I said, how much do you want for La'el Collins? Since we're over here playing the Dallas fire sale.
Oh, I agree. I think there's something we can do. Dude, I don't know if we're not. I mean, are they gonna release him today or what? Because I know they're trying to shred salary, right?
Well, they re-signed Tank Lawrence on a nice little old deal. I think he got 3 years. Yes, they got away with giving Tank nothing, hardly. Hold on, pull it up right now. 3 years, $30 million, but it's all 100% guaranteed.
Wow.
I was like, wow. It's like, hey, cats love that guaranteed money, I guess. Guaranteed 10 million. He said he was good. And that created $13 million in cap space.
Wow. Arcade's talking about Sebastian Joseph got a 3-year, $24 million deal, bro.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That was that was a great deal. I would have gave him that money. In fact, that's about what I thought that you'd be able to lure him away from the Rams with. And so the fact that the Chargers beat us to it, they got a great defensive tackle for a really low price to go along with their pass rushers. And like I was telling Tone earlier, that you now can't double anybody. You can't double anybody on that defensive front. You telling me you're
No.
gonna double Joey Bosa? You're gonna double Khalil Mack? You're gonna double Sebastian Joseph Day? You're gonna double, and then they got Austin Johnson. I'm like, one of them two big men in the middle's got to get doubled. Everybody else is man on man. And if
I
you
mean
and they got a nice blitz package to boot, things could get real bad if they stay healthy and they play to their capabilities. Things could be real bad for the AFC West or anyone playing the Chargers.
right. Oh man. I mean, if that doesn't scream sign Lyle Collins, I fucking trade from. I don't know what else does, bro. Bro, and JC Jackson back there. They got fucking Derwin James back there. I mean, what the fuck, bro? It seems like the Chargers are all in.
You know?
All in. They're trying to win a Super Bowl now. I mean, the blueprint's been laid out for them by the Rams. You know what I mean? Fucking wow, they are really going all in. Well, I mean, this is the time you do it though. When your rookie quarterback is under a fucking rookie contract, you can load up on the team around him, develop a team around him. So when he gets his fat contract, your team is ready to go. It's been ready to go. This is the way it's built. It's either around an elite quarterback or rookie quarterback. There's no in betweens.
There's no in between. Got the back line to match the front line. It's nasty. It looks exactly like the Rams defense used to when Staley was back over there. See, he switched offices but didn't move, and got his own team to run with his own way to do things, and it's nasty over there. It's nasty over there. So it's going to be a problem provided they stay healthy and play to their capabilities.
Bro, and they got Khalil for nothing. For a bag of chips. They weren't even hot Cheetos, bro. They was them fucking Kroger motherfuckers. You know, the $2 fucking chips.
Tone. All right, we got Tone with the kids in the car. Or we had Tone with the kids in the car.
Hey, Kate, let me tell you this. I see your saltiness.
The extremity of the saltiness.
I'm going to put that right here. I understand your saltiness.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I had seen, to the best of my knowledge. Look, anyway, there's a bunch of stuff that the Raiders have yet to make. Their $11 million frees itself on the first day of June. Then they still have another salary cap post June 1st designation to put that they could use for either Carl Nassib or Nick Kwiatkowski. Now, the way that they're doing it, I'd prefer to just cut Kwiatkowski out all right now and just take the dead money hit and keep him off the books from next year, because what you're doing is you're shaping up to have a lot of dead cap next year.
Right. And that dead cap is going to prevent you from signing players. I mean, there's going to be somebody out there. You just need that little extra push to sign, especially if the Raiders are trying to do business in the right way and give players money up front. And it's just going to happen them. I mean, I was all cool with keeping fucking Littleton and the whole crew, and just writing it out and going all in next year. But I'll
They got
digress.
$150 something million in cap space next year. So conceivably, it never ever looks like that money will be an issue until that money becomes an issue. But
Right.
the amount of dead cap space that they've got or is appalling even still. And even if you cut guys now, what it's going to cost you next year is ridiculous. These were the types of bad contracts that we applauded Reggie for having to clean up, and yet here is Ziegler having to do roughly the same thing. And everybody is complaining about what we're not doing in free agency when the office of Gruden is the one that put us in this situation to begin with.
Right.
And there's only the option.
I don't have no audio.
No, we can hear you just fine. Ooh, we're gonna have to not sit in on the conversations, bud. Oh, that was you. Mm-mm-mm. And so it's back to me. Anywho, there are plenty of guys that the Raiders can go out and get to make an impact. What you need to remember about the Raiders front office, Dave Ziegler, Josh McDaniels, Patrick Graham, and how they go about doing business, they told you what it was going to be. We are looking for good players, good football players who can do certain things, and we're going to put them in places where they do what they do best and have them do it as much as possible. The Patriot motto boils down to doing your damn job. Just do your job. And as long as they can continue to put the pieces around them who can do their jobs, there really won't be an issue with all of the guys that the Chargers have brought in, because the Patriots are used to overcoming everybody else's best efforts to dethrone them. They've been doing it for 2 decades. And Rich is still muted or talking to somebody else. You got something, Tone?
You actually brought up something I brought up while you're away for a minute. That I said, there's a lot of big splashes, but what we always knew was that with all these additions, we knew that we were going to have to be great in the trenches, and that we have to remember what our coaches are asking our players to do, which is do their jobs. And so when we're looking at guys for specific, as long as they do their job, we're going to be okay. It may not be the household name you're looking for, but what we're looking for is guys to do what they're brought in to do, and we should be just fine.
Absolutely. And bringing in guys to do certain things doesn't mean that you have to have a guy pay a dude crazy amounts of money. It goes back to having a certain dollar amount, certain valuation for a specific position and style of play, and not budging off of it. And that is what successful teams do. And so it's driving the Raiders crazy, but what's driving them crazy is that they're finally operating as a successful team operates.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. and for argument purposes, a lot of people feel like Patriot guys outside of the system, outside of Foxborough, tend to don't do as well when they move on. Well, if that's the case, they've been brought in to do their job, something specific, and it made the team successful.
So what I'd argue about is this, and you look at all of the guys who've left the Patriot organization. There's only been a few guys who've experienced a decent, I'll even call it a modicum of success. and there have been most of the guys who haven't. You've seen Romeo Crennel have some all right, some okay success. You've seen Vrabel, but he was a player and he had a different understanding of the game. Crennel was a fabulous coach, but now let's move into Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien had Houston in the playoffs and managed to find a way to screw up his entire team and get himself fired in the process because trading DeAndre Hopkins for a bucket of chicken had to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my
In the middle of
life.
the season, right? In the middle
In
of the
the
season, right?
middle of the season at that.
Was it a whole bucket of chicken or was it chicken strips?
It was an 8-piece.
Listen.
It was an 8-piece.
He had about 6 pieces left out the bucket of
No
12.
thighs, no breasts.
You know, no,
Hey, it
all
was all
breasts,
wings, wings
no
and
dark
gloves.
meat,
Oh man, hey,
no dark meat left. Without gravy and nothing to drink. It was a cold piece.
hey, Max Crosby's cap hit next year is going to be what, $20.5 million. So we got a little less for next year, especially if we sign Hunter. But we're still looking at about $100 million in salary cap next year. I mean, that's a good way to bring in more players. Hey Tony, I went over something real quick with Phil. A lot of the big moves in the NFL, you never hear about them. They just pop up. You mean? I really think something like that may be happening. I ain't gonna say it's Deshaun. I ain't gonna say none of that stuff. All I'm gonna say is everything is rumored for someone else, and then it ends up with completely different. So I'm just gonna say that maybe the Raiders are working on something really, really big. Hell, they might not, but I still got faith. You know what I mean? They're working on something really big.
Hey, and like our brother said, like our brother Phil Rob said, he said, we're playing this long game. It looks like they're playing a long game, and today was one of the first times I heard of how that team had broken down. I've heard the long game. I've heard that moniker or whatever. When it goes to free agency, but this was the first time I've heard it broken down. At least for the Raiders concerned. And we're looking at. So I was one who I didn't hit the panic button, but I did gasp. Somebody's like, oh man, that would have been nice to have. That would have been nice to have. But,
not me. I was that motherfucker. You ever see the gif with the guy?
This is the normal
he's
show.
poking at
Richard,
something to say do something. That was me all day, bro. You mean I'm running back and forth? I got my phone in my pocket, trying to update Twitter, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Dang, player, you done got hemmed up. Oh, they done got my boy. They blurred him and every whole face and turned red. I was like, no, not my boy.
And if that, I would have definitely switched the phone over to that view. You guys would have definitely been a witness.
No, that's right. I'd be like, I'm on live right now. Make sure you wave to the camera. The millions of people are watching you right now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We took this show to a whole nother level.
It's real unfiltered. Be like, y'all seen what happened on Unfiltered the other day? Truly told you, got hemmed up, jammed up by SFPD. Right? Like next thing you know, all the news will be on us. I'll be like, no, y'all just need to send some traffic this way. I need money.
That's what I'm saying.
I need some money on my books.
I don't need you to pay me. I just directed traffic. We got it over here. It's cool.
We need them steaks on Rich's grill.
Man. Bro, I want one of them steaks. What you talking about?
I agree. You are right. They do need me in the front office.
Appreciate you, Ray J.
Man, we'd already had Deshaun. We'd already had Lael. Listen, your boy would have had us right.
So am I reading this right, man? We lost the bad guy. I know we pulled. They was pulling the plug. Yeah. We lost him. Man, I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of little tribute on Saturday. Stay tuned for that. I'm not gonna do that today, but I'm gonna come up with some kind of tribute for the bad guy for
Bad
the
guy.
Dark.
Yeah, I
One of
should.
hey,
Guys better become members, man. Become members, man, so you can see that. You see that tribute.
Yeah. You were saying, Rich?
one of the coolest motherfucking wrestlers you
Yeah.
was ever gonna
Yeah.
see.
This is for
You know what I mean?
kids.
Coolest.
The kid show. We can't be dropping bombs on the kid, the family friendly show.
You gotta take off. Yeah,
Yeah. Family friendly show.
we're not in the
Hey.
barbershop.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Nah, this is a Wednesday evening.
Right.
Not prime time hours. Killing me, Smalls.
Uh,
But yeah, there's a ton of talent that's still out there. It's doing things this way. So while everybody's again crazy about what the Raiders aren't doing 2 days before the season actually starts, and they can actually legitimately fully process what it is that they're doing. So let that sink in. The league year hasn't even started yet, and the Raider fans are already screaming about what they're not doing. How does that work?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're not tampering, Rich. They're not tampering.
to be honest, I'm tired of winning free agency. Don't we win free agency every year? I mean, we make all these big splashes. I mean, what we paid Williams $14 million a year for 2 years and be hurt the whole time? I'm good on all that. Traded a 3rd round pick for AB. I'm good on all that. I'd rather do a little less this year and let it take us a little bit farther. I'm tired of winning, the off season, day 1, day 2. Let's build something. I mean, let's do this where it's sustainable.
Well, yeah, and we tried it the other way, right? Randy Moss, just to name a few, just to name someone. We've tried this before.
But you know where we are, and this is what nobody's thought about. Where we are is at the unique position where you get to sit back and watch what all your rivals do to try to catch you. And after they've already done it, you can then come back and counter what they tried to do to catch you to defeat what they did. One of the geniuses of what Belichick and Graham did is that they adjusted to what you were doing. Belichick would take away what you did best and force you to do something else. And you're able to do that once you've seen everybody, for lack of a better phrase, shoot their shot. You now know what the Chargers are going to do, what the Chargers have already done. You know what they're looking at. They're looking to overwhelm you with defense and continue to offense the way that they've gone, and continue to gel with their quarterback getting better and better now in his 3rd year. So now you expect him to go out and get it all the way done. So he won the offensive rookie of the year. He got to within an overtime field goal of the playoffs last season. Now they went out and got all this defensive help. This is supposed to be their year, right? Sanjoku, as long as we have Carr, it will be all right. Rich agrees with me, I'm sure. Like around here, it would be
Yeah,
Rich.
yeah, yeah. As long as we got a car service, in
You know what
case
I'm
these
saying?
fools want to go out and turn up,
Hey,
so
can
nobody
we
will go
check?
out and
Hey,
hurt
do
nobody.
we got a pickup truck or just a car? You know what I
I
mean?
mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'll take this R and trade you an A, and as long as we have a car, it will be all right. I believe so too. I'll be able to get wherever I need to go.
That's right.
Wow.
Doing
Hey,
whatever it takes.
That's the car that Mrs. Mr. Turn and shit. Oh, you missed the street, man. You God, you could have just took that lane here, wide open lane.
uh, uh,
we all had that one car that breaks down all the time. As soon as you
yeah.
think it's straight, you mean
Listen,
You
I'm
kind of
like,
side eye the heat, the temperature gauge. You kind of looking at it. You know, better chill
yeah,
out. You know what I mean?
We
you
pay
know,
car. We pay car. It's gonna be like, you ever seen a really nice car on the side of the road? You know what I mean? It's just like, what could be wrong with that? It's a brand new car.
Bro,
they
we
don't look the
making
same
car
on the hood.
payments on a box Chevy with nice rims that cost more than the car.
I'm saying
Oh yeah,
I'm making payments on the car on the
2 more
Chevy,
years, it's
but
all
not through
mine.
Chevy to the rim shop.
yeah, right. I
Mm.
got 3 more payments to go, man. 3
Yeah,
to go, man.
it's all
Oh
mine.
no.
Almost got it all, almost on them, and that's when I get robbed. As soon as
Right,
that last payment's been
Them
processed.
them tens, yeah, them tens. But they nice
Yeah,
though. They nice.
I keep them clean.
I keep them clean.
bro.
Hey,
Oh
sock check, cool.
man.
Man,
Oh man.
Hey, sock check, homie.
you know what? I don't want to hear
As soon as he gets by Khalil Mack, look at my roof. Look at my roof.
that.
Look at my roof.
It got just a little bit of rust. And this motherfucker got the fucking ripped up Phantom top.
Ah,
You know what I expect to see, man? I expect to see Khalil Mack. I expect to see Carr surrender a sack to Khalil Mack, and they both laughing. Good time about it.
bruh, stop it.
I
Just
I'm not gonna lie with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and Day, bruh. Derek's gonna be every gopher within a 20-mile radius is gonna be dead.
over under 6 games that they play together.
probably got it about 7.5.
Seven and a half.
That'll be the
I'm gonna take
demarcation
the
point.
under. I'm gonna take
See,
the under though.
it's like, damn, it's like, is
I
that
see-
is
I
that
see
7.5 before the buy or after the buy? I need to know if that's included.
Hey, you know that's a good point though. You know, if they got a bye week, you know, at week 3 or 4, and then they gotta
Yeah,
go hammer out the rest of the season.
yeah, they ain't gonna have a bye week that early. You know, their bye week is gonna be probably about week 7.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Just in
Yeah,
time for them all to get healthy.
it really is. It really is Joku. That defensive line is bananas. That secondary is as crazy as the defensive line. And all in all, it's going to take a good effort for them to be able to come out and beat them. They're gonna, but the one thing that we failed to take into consideration at this point is that this coaching staff is supposed to be 200 times better than what we've already had, what we've ever been used to seeing. This is supposed to be the premier coaching staff. This is literally the entire Patriot offense, the offensive genius that you see on the field. Because we can all say what we want to say about Belichick and who runs New England, but he didn't run the offense, and he said it. Raiders!
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just had to do it, bro. I just had to do it. Hey, Tony, I got a story for you, bro. Friday night,
It's
I'm
gonna have
getting
to be
ready
on
to buy
the
them
Unfiltered
12s.
After Dark show. You got to keep it
All right,
clean, Rich. This is the family show.
hey, I'm
With
keeping
you
it
and your
clean.
Navy SEAL mouth.
I know. Can you tell I
Throw a
deal
flag. Hey, we
with
need a
truck
flag. We need a
drivers and
flag
Yeah,
every
you know
truck?
what
time.
I'm saying?
Every time
I'm
I
like,
do it, we just throw a flag.
blow the whistle on him. You in violation.
uh, but nah, I had everything set up to purchase my 12s.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. The site was up. The money was in my daughter's bank. All she had to do is wake up at a certain time, hit buy, done, right? They'll be sent in the mail. The washer breaks, and there's no way to finish washing my clothes.
Oh, shoot, man. All right.
That's my luck. That's my luck.
Okay, fellas. I got dinner with the family right now. It's a happy
Right
hour.
on.
You know what I'm doing. Tacos on deck.
There you go.
Tacos on deck. You know what time it is.
Mad jealous.
All right,
Hey,
Toad,
if
knock
you
it
get a
down.
chance, try the governor ones.
Huh?
If you get a chance, try the governor ones.
The governor what?
Tacos,
Governor
Gobernador.
Where's that at?
Gobernador. Yeah.
Gobernador.
Okay. Okay.
Bro.
It's
Fire.
a different way to
Shrimp,
cook your
cheese.
tacos.
Okay. Shoot, I need to do that. Well, peoples, all the viewers and everything like that. I will sign off with an RIP to the bad guy. Hey yo.
Right on. Best coach in the world won't win anything if we don't fix out O-line. RT in the first. No. They need to stop. I don't know if they will, honestly. Like I said earlier, if it was left up to me, I would have already traded for La'el Collins. I would have cut whoever needed to be cut. He would be on my roster right now. Not now, but right now. Just saying.
And here's the thing though, with I didn't understand about Day was who's gonna play defensive tackle for us?
You can draft it. Well, that is the
want
easiest question to answer. And the reason why I say that's the easiest question to answer because your return, your risk versus return on a defensive tackle in the draft is you're looking at catching the next beast on a rookie contract. If you'll have this next beast for 5 years where you won't have to pay him $15 million. You won't have to pay him $20 million. You'll be able to have him on a rookie deal. He'll be playing his ass off because he'll be trying to get paid on his first major contract. And he'll be supremely motivated. And with this particular organization, with these particular coaching staffs, you've seen the ability to develop players. That's why they're not overspending in free agency because they can take guys and they can develop them.
I heard that. I heard that.
And so if you can develop players, then you don't have to pay players.
Yeah, get them on rookie contracts.
Yeah. But we crossed the hour and a half mark, and the representative is about to run me out of here of my own garage. So let me bid y'all a final adieu. It's been good seeing everybody. Fuck the Chiefs. No.
We see you, Hefe.
See you, Hefe. And
hey.
we're
gonna be the only people with the Chief fan. But
everybody wants to be a
subscription.
Everybody wants to be a Raider fan. It's all right. I'm not gonna say nothing.